Hey guys, this is Pharaoh2091 and welcome back to Let's Play 999. Last time left off, we escaped the casino, and that actually, while we were in the casino, we got the Venus symbol key, which opened that gate, and I guess we went into like the medical bay, barracks, or whatever you want to call it, of this ship, and the other group of people just came up and met us right now, so that's good. So let's continue on. This is bad, though. If the red isn't working, we can't keep going. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, those past two episodes, or like whatever couple episodes, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with the sound? Blah, blah, blah. If you guys didn't see the annotation I put in that episode, apparently my headphones weren't plugged all the way in, and I only could hear certain sounds coming through the headphones. So, like, I would hear, like, you know, like examining things, whatnot, but I didn't hear the piano playing or like any of those other noises, and that's why I'm like, oh, something's wrong with the audio. So I might look like I did look like a huge idiot there. So yeah, it's all good now. So yeah, what about the big hallway? Maybe there's something in there we might be able to go. No, there's nothing there. The five of us had a quick look. There were a great many rooms, although none of them appear to have held patients for quite some time. Patients? You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms? Yes. Apparently they have a number of individual rooms, in addition to this large central room. There was a door down at the end of the hallway too, but it was locked. It had one of those solar system mark things on it. It was the Jupiter symbol. Jupiter. I wonder what it means. Confusion seemed to be the consensus. That reminds me, what's the deal with the big room anyway? What is this thing? Was there some kind of huge passenger ship? Not one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until Seven unexpectedly spoke up. I bet it's a hospital ship. In fact, it's probably the Gigantic. The Gigantic? Junpei looked at Seven, shocked both by his knowledge and the apparent identity of their prison. He was not the only one. What's this Gigantic? Seven nodded to Lotus and began to speak. The Gigantic. He explained that she had been a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. The Titanic had two sister ships who were identical to one another in nearly every aspect. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. She was initially intended to be a passenger liner, like the Titanic, but soon after the ship was launched, the First World War began, and she was pressed into duty by the British Navy as a hospital ship. Sometime later, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She managed to run aground after the incident, and consequently was not sunk. What then happened to the Gigantic after her fateful encounter in the Aegean Sea? One theory... Oops. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that, guys. One theory ran that a man named Lord Gordon, I think it's Gordain, purchased her. Gordain, I think. Lord Gordain, it seemed, had been one of the few survivors of the Titanic tragedy, and that trauma had turned him into an obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. As his obsession deepened, he began to desire the Titanic itself. That, of course, was impossible. The Titanic lay at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. The Gigantic, however, had not suffered such a dire fate, and as she was identical to her sister ship, she caught Lord Gordain's eye. So you're saying this Lord Gordain bought the ship? Yeah. At least I think I am. That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old. Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any other proof? Any proof? Proof? Proof that this ship really is a Gigantic? Well, the ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So I just figured... Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason. No, I've got more, I mean... Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment and gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth. I don't know. Lotus sighed and shook her head. I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it? No, sorry. Then, almost as if to save Seven from further embarrassment. What? Oh, it was a bell. What the hell's going on? A bell began to ring from far away. It sounded as though it was the clock at the main stairway. Junpei counted each chime carefully. 10, 11, 12. Shoot, it's already 12? It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right? Let's just get moving. We gotta find that hardware that the Reds are missing. That's all well and good, but where are we going to look? Well, we already searched the big patient room. They've been examining the room as they talked. But we haven't found anything. Right. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Just one? Well, no, not just one. Huh? Wait a minute! Are you telling me we have to search all these rooms? Well, you already checked some of them out before you came here, right? We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total. Alright then, that's 5 rooms we don't have to search. If we split up, it won't be that bad. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, so we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time. There are 48 other rooms? Lotus did not seem excited about a prospect, but I don't think anyone will. Seven fidgeted nervously before responding. Maybe? Okay. After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with, and in what order they should go. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft. They also determined that when they would return to report their findings, the next time the clock sounded the time. So an hour. When they did, they would meet back in a large central room full of beds. If, during the search, any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others. If the strategy failed, they returned to discuss their opinions later. The details decided, they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, and each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However... Oh, I'm not liking this. Hello? From far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m. Yeah, let's say at least it did the searching off camera, so we wouldn't have to see it. I guess it's back to the central room we go. Did we find any components? Did anyone else find components? I hope so. He jogged through the entrance to the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there. Actually, if they did find a components, wouldn't they already known by now? They would have yelled for each other, I guess. Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. So we're missing Snake. Oh, that's not good. They're missing Snake. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to door number 8. Had one of them found a missing piece? What happened, guys? It was June who answered him. Jumpy, look! She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Oh. Well, it works now, apparently. Immediately he knew what she had meant. The display in front of the red, vacant. Ugh. Junpei sighed. Come on, guys, who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it. Well, Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut. Okay, I'm just determining these things turned on at 1 a.m. That Zero was kind of forcing their time away. That I'm just making a presumption here. As I said, this is a damn blind LP. I don't know what the hell's going on here. What the hell? What is up with you guys? They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke. Well, that's the thing. We don't know. You don't know? When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red. Oh, so... Okay, no, apparently someone did put them back in there. Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal. Clearly, whatever had been missing had been returned. What about the other two? They're the same. Junpei quickly examined the other two boxes. Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others. Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right? Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, not me, and Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing. Huh? Wait a minute. That's when he noticed. Where's Snake? That's what I noticed too. Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen. Does that mean he found them? I have no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest that he didn't either. I don't suppose we'll know until we ask him in person. Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell's he up to? Maybe he's lost? Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see, and I don't know how the hell he gets around in the first place. Clover raised her head. No, that's impossible! Suddenly she was shouting. Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible. Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes. I'm gonna look for him! The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run. Hey! Hold on, Clover! Wait! Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone. Damn it! What should we do now? Well, the red is working now. No, we're not leaving two people behind. We should go back. We should go look for them. Oh man, this ain't good. Oh yeah, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some pieces of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more time by looking for a couple of idiots. Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left. Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split up. Then they quickly assigned search areas, and they went their separate ways. Soon only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others. Alright, we should go too. Yeah, let's go. But where should we start? Well, let's see. Shoot. B deck, casino, first class cabin, hallway. I guess, let's go down the order here. I don't know if this is going to be like a game changer or anything, but let's just search around. How about the casino on B deck? Okay, sounds good. It took off up the stairs at a run. I really hope I picked the right one. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She glanced up at him, unimpressed. Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake. I'm just not seeing it here. Really? Maybe you need to look harder. Junpei didn't think that was the problem. Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it? Fine. What is it? Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up? Team up? Yeah, what? You need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door? Even if we wanted to, that's impossible. Why? Jumpy's bracelet is 5 and mine is 6, and yours is 8. Our digital route will be 1. That's correct. Yep, it'll be 1. But there's no number 1 door in a large hospital room. The only doors are 3, 7, and 8. Then we add another person. Huh? Who? What, isn't it that easy? 7! She was right. If they added 7, it would equal 8. And the 4 of them could go through the door. But, whoa, hold on a second here. What about the other 4? Why don't you add them up? That was simple enough. It was 1. The route for those 4 would be 1. That's right. And you know the number 1 door is in the big hospital room, right? Of course I know that. No, are you saying that you'd leave them behind? Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we? Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind. Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you'd do anything of the sort. Really, now. Why do you think that? You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back and rescue them in less than 5 hours. Well, you never know until you try. No. You're not thinking this through at all. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door 9. Oh yeah, that is the last room, right? Door 9? Yeah, that's right. This is your route for 4 will be 8, so we will need Ace to make 9. Right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck. Laura scratched the back of her ear. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate then. She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said, nor did she seem particularly surprised. Well, let's try to find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us. That's impossible. Are you being serious? You do know that only 5 people at most can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be any exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind. Oh shoot, I kind of didn't think about that. Unless there is going to be an exception for that, who knows? You're right, that's true. The moment he said that, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine. It was true. How Lotus could forbid Cavalier or whatever about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him. When they found a door number 9, they would have to choose which 3 of them would die. Lotus's forehead furrowed. Whatever. Do you think I could have a moment alone? There are some things I need to think about here. Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus. Talking to her had left them feeling ill. Junpei's heart felt heavy and his slept sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get him nowhere. So he forced himself to smile and turned to June. Let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay? Yeah, you're right. We can think about those other things later. Junpei nodded. Alright, where should we go next? Well, I guess we're gonna be going to the first class cabin, but we'll be doing that in the next episode, guys. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play 999. I'll see you guys later.